go to every shop that you want, do the purchases. You should show the way, saying Indian economy now benefits from the GST second generation reform. I'm happy to say the determination of September 22nd was largely influenced by the Pujo. Because it is Puja. Although the Prime Minister had said before Deepavali, and although the industry was telling us, oh, now we'll have to wait till Deepavali because people are coming to the shop, doing window shopping or getting some pamphlets from us as to what is the cost, what is the specification and everything else, and are going back. They're not buying. When are you going to bring this? Please get it from tomorrow, was the request from the industry after the GST Council's decision. But we had to be practical. The GSTN, which is the GST network, the digital network which governs the entire country, had to be readied. Vendors had to be spoken to. The small merchants had to be spoken to. They all have to amend their entire billing system to reflect the new decision. And the new decision is not on one commodity or two. It is on the entire gamut of GST. So people had to be given their time to readjust. And in that process, somebody said, why don't we do it from 10th September? Then somebody else said, no, from 15th September. Then we said, no, wait, when does Bengal's Pujo begin? It is after the Shraddha period, which is the Pitru Paksh. So, if Prime Minister Modi indicated Deepavali, and if GST has gone through a major revamp, the Shubha Mangal Divas is first day of Navaratri, the next day of Mahalaya. So don't you see the very strong influence of Bengal in this decision making? Absolutely for you all. So I would think the message from Bengal is what is going to influence the rest of the country, like it did during independence struggle. Like Bengal has always been leading the country. Now I would want each one of you all to go out there. Go to every shop that you want. Do the purchases. You should show the way, saying Indian economy now benefits from the GST second generation reform. We the citizens are going to use it to the maximum, and we can move to the next slide. In the current system, whichever number of items, so how many ever number of items are there in 12% rate? Suppose they are 100, under 12% rate. 99 of them are going to 5%. So there is no more 12%. But what happens to those items which are under 12? 99 are going to 5, only 1% is going to 18. So that's what is being shown there. Then another rate which is disappearing is 28%. There's no more 12 in the new scheme, no more 28 also in the new scheme. And in the 28% tax, rate cut in 90% of the goods which are in 28%. So from 28 they are all moving to 18. 90% of all those which are in the 28% rate now are moving to 18, and only the rest are going to the demerit rate of 40%. Demerit. So from now, if there is going to be any shuffling in the GST, it will be between 5 and 18. Those category which is existing in 40 cannot draw these items there. Only items which are defined as demerit or sin goods are the ones which are going there to 40. So that is not even in the reckoning, and even in the 40, not more than 17, if I know right, subject to correction, items are at the 40%. So, the next slide. Till now in the 8 years, what did the GST do? 65 lakhs was the number of people who were in the GST system, meaning they were charging GST in 2017, they were 65 lakh at the time of introduction. In the 8 years, that number has gone to 1.51 crores. So GST has actually drawn more people into it and widened the net. And the money earned, that is a gross, not talking of refunds here, where we were collecting in 2018 only 7.19 lakh crores. Today we are collecting 22.08 lakh crores annually. So actually GST has made a very big positive contribution in terms of revenue generation. States benefit, center also benefits.